So hello everyone, good afternoon to you all. Welcome to this live session of the essay part of yours. So we have shared you with the essay question today morning, and therefore through this process we will learn how to attempt an essay, what are the important requirements that you have to go with respective to an essay, and in what dimensions you need to take when you are directly attempting a respective essay question. So, সকলোকে মই আমাৰ এই মেইনছ ওৰিয়েণ্টেড এছে সেশনটোলে I welcome everyone. মই সকলোকে ইয়াতে মোৰ ফালৰ পৰা অভিনন্দন জনালো because you all are attached with us from a very long period of time, and in this time period of discussions and in this time period of your preparations, we are helping you out based upon our experiences in the past year exams. Okay, so I myself wants to congratulate each and every one of you who have passed this year APSC prelims and who are amongst the 10,000 who will be appearing for the mains. So therefore probably you have gone with the sessions or you have gone with the questions of the history. Probably you have been going with the questions of the geography which recently was conducted. Okay, and now before going to the 1.3 session or the test of 1.3, so you will be today has gone through the questions of essay which has been covered through your questions, and every type of dynamic as well as static parts will be covered upon through this respective strategies of these essays. So therefore without going into delay, I just want to have a brief orientation about what basically means an essay. So see, when I directly says you an essay, okay, good afternoon, yes, thank you. So okay, when I am directly saying about an essay, see, আমি যিখিনি বস্তু স্কুলত পঢ়িছোঁ, আমি যিখিনি বস্তু কলেজত পঢ়িছোঁ, আমি যিখিনি বস্তু লাইক আমাৰ ইচ এণ্ড এভৰি ষ্টেজত আমি যিখিনি বস্তু চালোঁ পঢ়িলোঁ, maybe the interpretation of a class 1 guy and the interpretation of a class 10 guy is totally a different. Class 1 এজন ল'ৰা ছোৱালী বা class 10 এজন ল'ৰা ছোৱালী যিটো ইণ্টাৰপ্ৰিটেশ্যন লিখিব সেই ইণ্টাৰপ্ৰিটেশ্যনটো টোটেলি বেলেগ হ'ব. And now we have directly come across various strategies through which you need to appear in your exams. To মানে essay বুলি কোৱাৰ লগে লগে এনেকুৱা নহয় যে মই টপিক এটা দেখিছোঁ আৰু সেই টপিকটোৰ ওপৰত মই লিখা ইমিডিয়েটলি আৰম্ভ কৰি দিলোঁ. It's not the same things. Okay, মই এটা ক'বলৈ যাম, supposedly whenever you are writing an essay, okay, essay is a very integral part of our life actually. Okay, বহুত আমাৰ ইমিডিয়েট এটা ইণ্টিগ্ৰেল পাৰ্ট হয় আমাৰ লাইফৰ কিহৰ কাৰণে বিকজ সি whenever you are writing an essay you are writing something in all directions আজি যদি মই কওঁ যে I am a person where I have got some of the political affiliations মোৰ নিজৰ এটা political affiliation থাকিব পাৰে anyone who is saying that I have no political affiliation I can say that he is directly lying so sob manore eta political affiliations thake since we are living in a democracy we have got a polity so etu karone amar eta political orientation thake this political orientation is different for each and every people living in this particular country in the same way more political orientations to tumalkor logot totally jamin asmanor fark hobo pare okay you may support someone who is doing Bharat Jodo Yatra and I may support someone who is directly going with the JCB or someone who is directly going with some of the non-cooperative activities. So both kini khetrot amar orientations bilak beleg hobo pare. In that same sense, আজি মোৰ political affiliations আছে. But today I can say that my social affiliations and your social affiliations are also different. মই যেটো social community belongs কৰো তোমালোকেও সেই community belong নকৰিবও পাৰা. Okay, I may be from a different community, you may be from a different community and the peoples who will view this particular videos may be from different backgrounds, different political affiliations, different social interactions, everything. And that may be through various age groups. Aji more age group jiman, maybe the person who is viewing me today may be of the different age group. Kunba mutke horu hobo pare, kunba mur logor hobo pare, kunba mutke damar hobo pare. So that is the strategy when you need to take when you are writing an essay. Essay eta fakare ami likhile nohobo. So therefore I have told you about political, told you about the social significance. Now if I say about the historical significance. Amar nizor manhor, amar jodi moi nizor manhor kotha kau. Mur jetu history, my past. Can I relate your past with me? Obviously no. Okay, the people who are viewing, they can directly answer that তোমালোকে মোৰ পাষ্টৰ লগত তোমালোকে নিজৰ পাষ্টটো ডাইৰেক্টলি কোৰিলেট কৰিব পাৰিবা নোৱাৰা comment give it in the comment section try to be interactive okay don't be a dead animal okay try to be a living being okay I am not saying that you needs to be a human being we all know that we are a human being but I am saying that be a living animal try to interact try to be cooperative then only you can directly enjoy the respective session okay being that kanor eneka ami futat like ami jodi earphone ta khumai pela earbuds ta khumai pela bohi asu adha manu tate hui jabo okay so try to be interactive okay so good afternoon anyways so in every sense I can directly say that your past and my past is totally different so therefore today me and you has got different historical context amar historical context to amar beleg hoi ase so in that circumstances I can directly say that historically also we all are different okay someone has come from this area someone has come from that area so in every sense today I could directly say that this historical context is also different in nature so therefore every type of situation every type of phenomenon has got different historical relativities okay so therefore today if I say about a problem every problem has got some of the areas associated with the historical context so in data sense if I directly wants to dedicate a respective problems I wants to go ahead with a respective data about a topic if I look forward in different directions that is the core area different directions mostly different directions of jodi moi directly eta essay likhibole jao ba moi eta jodi topic or sentence likhibole jao then it is a very important element that you have to go ahead with a different types of things so supposedly moi jodi eta ko that supposedly any topics directly comes about women okay women so yate ite moi women er kotha ko I will just rub this now if I talks about women so here if I have to refer about women I can directly say that women has got historical context of women of keneke moi define koribo paru because you can say that how a women is treated during the ancient period during the medieval period during the modern period and after independence and even today so that I can say that this is basically the historical significance of being a woman if I say about the political element of women that means what political representation We know about 33% seats reserved for this, that. But can we directly experience that in a very literal sense? Because still, women are not yet fully represented. Then obviously we can find various number of discriminations. Discriminations in the sense, women are not directly given some of the higher hierarchical position. Okay, women has got various number of issues. Okay, today only women are getting introduced supposedly in the paramilitaries. Okay, they are very less seen. Today the women are directly elevated to the post of being the fighter pilots. So that is occurring very recently. So that means through which areas we are directly giving the significance to the women is a very important criteria. Talk about women or social customs. Okay, how women are represented in a society. Society, women can represent who is. Okay, what is the social discrimination a women needs to face when they are introduced in a society? Can I expect a women, supposedly if I have to say, okay, you can directly answer to me. Okay, can I expect a women to directly not go in a traditional attire when a traditional function is basically going on? Today, if supposedly a new bride is directly coming to the groom's house after marriage, post marriage, can I see the women is basically going with all such type of clothes that she necessarily needs to wear? But actually she has been ridden with the traditional cult, the societal norms, the societal values for which she has to follow the respective etiquettes associated with the society. So ebilak ki ahi gola amar social relations lo ahi gola. Okay, so in that respective sense, even I can say about the economical context to us. So today economical context of moi jao, today I can see that the women are discriminated even on terms of economy. Economical terms to women are discriminate kora jay. Because once women are given equal representation, today we can hardly see it. Recently, if I say about the case of BCCI ki kori se? Women's are men's. Okay, the cricketers or the women's and the men's cricketers, they have been given equal pay. So that is a what? That is a inch, that is a march towards equality. Something which is known as equal pay for equal work irrespective of gender. Today even the third gender, which are known as the transgenders, so these are also directly coming up in this particular same level. So therefore, if I am directly going with all such number of context, also you can directly go associate with it with the health context. Okay, so we all know that the problems associated with health of women, okay, can be seen in across every states and in across the whole countries of the world. So women are having some they are anemic. Okay, they are less ridden with the iron content of them. Iron content to come thake, iron or karne extra ke okhot dibo laga hoy. Okay, they have got an this anemic problem. Okay, they have got very less blood circulations. So in every category today, how women is treated, how their health factor is basically getting adding up. So these are some of the important criteria when I have to say about the health sector of the women's. So now if I have to say about all these areas, so moi jiman kita areas koru. Jodi moi iman kita area jodi moi ekhon essay jodi moi bhabibo paru, if I have to at least admire an essay, then I can say that I am covering each and every associated parts with respective to that essay. So therefore this is a very important criteria of this particular elements. Okay, so hetu karone these are what? These are basically known to be the mind maps which you need to create when you are directly writing an essay. So these are basically the mind maps. A mind maps ki amar bahut essential hai, because without this mind maps it will be very difficult for us to directly relate and the correlate every number of incidents associated with the essay. So this mind maps are very important, and this mind maps needs to be framed beforehand your writing. Whenever you are directly getting the question paper, okay, take half an hour time to decide what is basically the contents of the essay should be. And I am not saying that this half an hour or to be called essay kori dia. This half an hour should be for both the essays that you need to write. Within a period of 5 minutes, you have to decide that what I need to write, which 2 essays I need to write out of some 8 essays that are given to you. The best essay, that means where you have got the maximum number of confidence, I can directly say that it is the type of essay you need to write. So সেইখিনি আমি rough space ত গোটেই essay খিনি আমি rough space ত আৰামছে কি কৰিব লাগিব? We have to go ahead with writing that which is the respective points that I need to write and needs to include in the respective essays. So এইখিনি বস্তুৱে আমাৰ আহে with respective to the essay start. So half an hour মানুহে বেলেগক লিখিব দিয়া but তোমালোকে লিখিবা. Because without having that particular knowledge that what you need to write, বেলেগ মানুহে question টো পাই পেলাই লগালগ আৰম্ভ কৰি দিলে, but after 3 to 4 pages they will stop because their contents are not ready to write. But you taking half an hour has already made with the contents. তোমালোকে গোটেই contents খিনি বনাই পেলাই লিখি দিলা. So therefore you will ultimately go to around 10 to 12 pages to write the respective essay. And you will complete it in a very soon time because you have framed every number of elements associated with that particular essay. Okay, so a factor to amar yaar ahi jay, that is with respective to how you can frame and write an essay. Now coming to this one, that is our respective essay which today we have directly given. Okay, so eta ki koiba gusile yat koa gusile dreams we should not let India sleep. Etu asile amar dreams we should not let India sleep. কিছুমান সপোন যিবিলাক সপোনৰ কাৰণে আমি শুব নোৱাৰো, মই অসমীয়া ট্ৰান্সলেচন কৰি দিম. Already I am directly predicting that you all have attempted this particular essay. Okay, so a dreams we should not let India sleep. কিছুমান আমাৰ সপোন থাকিব লাগে লাইফত, আৰু সেই সপোন বিলাকে আমাক আমনি কৰিব লাগে. Instead of saying যৌৱনে আমনি কৰে, সপোনে আমনি কৰে হ'ব লাগে. Okay, so সপোন বিলাক যেতিয়া আমাৰ ওচৰত আহে না, people's event, I say that dreams not only comes during the night, dreams also accompany you during the daytime also. Hetu moi go over. Okay, because even some point of time also I being a human being. Okay, moi eta tumalkor upor yate ahi pela I am directly giving a lecture on the essay. That doesn't mean that I am not a human being. I am also a human being like yours. So etu kana if I say about that, if you are daydreaming, এনেকুৱা নহয় যে ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট কাম কৰি থাকা তাতেও ডে ড্ৰিমিং কৰি থাকা, মই এইবিলাক কোৱা নাই. যেতিয়া কাম কৰিবা তেতিয়া ডে ড্ৰিমিং নকৰিবা. But at least when you are daydreaming, at some point of time, this dream should directly annoy you. That মই এই ড্ৰিমটো কিয় কৰিব পৰা নাই? Why I am directly not going with this particular amount of dream? Why I am directly not fulfilling this activity? মানুহৰ এটা বেচেনি থাকিব লাগে. And this বেচেনি will lead you to somewhere else. Obviously, in a very good atmosphere. So in that criteria, it has been asked that what are the dreams we should not let India sleep? Today, if I see about the leaders of our country, it may be the Prime Minister, it may be the Home Minister, it may be the Finance Minister, it may be the External Affairs Minister, who is much more active person than if I say about NSA, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval. Okay, so who doesn't know about these persons? So everyone admires such person. কেতিয়াবা মনত মন নকৰে নে যে if I becomes people something like this, যদি মই এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ মানুহ এজন হ'ব পাৰিলেহেঁতেন বা এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ মানুহ এজনৰ নিচিনা যদি মই কাম কৰিব পাৰিলেহেঁতেন বা সেই ৰোলটো যদি মই কৰিব পাৰিলেহেঁতেন বা সেই মানুহজনৰ লগত বহি পেলাই মই যদি দুটামান কথা শিকিব পাৰিলেহেঁতেন. These are the types of goals that you need to fix when you are directly going ahead with this type of phenomena. So etu kana today if I see about every form of leaders that what we have today, এই গোটেই leaders কিনে কি কৰি আছে? They are dreaming something for India. So today if I see about India directly saying that yes, we will directly become a developed nation, we will directly become a carbon neutral nation, we will directly go with the achievement of sustainable developmental goals at the period dia ase 2030, 2047, 2070. এই বস্তুবিলাক কি হয়? These are the goals, these are the fixed elements that I need to go ahead. Even if I have to take about the scenario of our Chief Minister of Assam, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma. So he also dreamt of taking the culture of Assam to a next level. And therefore, though he was basically engaged with other works, but still at the back of his mind, during his daytime, during his night time, he is always thinking about that how to promote Bihu in an international podium. How to make people know about what is this Bihu? What is the traditional system of Bihu? How Bihu gets danced? এই গোটেই বস্তুখিনি এটা প্ৰকাৰ কি হৈ আছে? It's directly a plan which was directly a success in this recent ৰঙালী বিহু। আৰু এই ৰঙালী বিহুৰ যিটো ফাংচন কৰা গ'ল, এই ফাংচনত আমি কি দেখিলোঁ? Prime Minister Narendra Modi came and various number of other digital media or any other international media, they directly came and focused. Even in China, this got published. এইটো বেলেগ কথা যে চাইনাৰ যিটো চেনেলে পাব্লিছ কৰিছিলে, মই যেতিয়া চাই আছিলোঁ, so I obviously did not understand Mandarin, but মাজে মাজে বিহু বুলি কৈ আছিলে, তো মই সেইটো বুজি পাইছোঁ যে বিহুৰ কথাই কৈ আছিলে। After that the video showed up, then it's okay, because obviously it directly occurred in a very beautiful stadium of Horu Khazai in Guwahati. So therefore this was basically a dream which was achieved, and through this we directly made a Guinness Book of World Records, and which was very much for the first time. Such a marvelous scenario that has been coming in from the Horu Khazai Stadium in Guwahati that particular day. So এইবিলাক কিছুমান আমাৰ ড্ৰিমছ থাকে which we need to fulfill in this coming time. So সেইটো কাৰণে ইয়াতে কৈছে that India has many dreams such as economic prosperity, healthy nation, scientific and technological development. However, there are many challenges that should not let anyone sleep until we recover or overcome them. So যেতিয়ালৈকে আমি overcome বা recover নকৰো, তেতিয়ালৈকে we need to go ahead with this process. Okay, আৰু কিছুমান challenges আমাৰ কি কি আহি যায়? The challenges that we have over here is basically that women safety and empowerment. Okay, এই বস্তুটো আমাৰ কাৰণে এটা বহুত important factor হৈ যায়, what is known as women safety and empowerment. Because without this women safety and empowerment, I cannot directly say that everyone is basically growing in this respective economy, which will be soon become a $5 trillion economy. সেইটো আমি expect কৰি আছো। But এতিয়া যদি মই ইয়াতে আহো about the women safety and empowerment, that is one of the very important factor we have to associate ourselves. The women's safety and their respective empowerments is not a tale of today. Itu azir kotha nohoy. It is right from the very beginning that women's safeties, women empowerments has been taught marvelously by our peoples. Even many historians and many social reformers have directly said about such number of women emancipations. Because it is not only that over here only we are focused with only the male, because today in our country we are expecting what? An egalitarian society. Egalitarian mane equal society. Amak egalitarian society lage, equal society lage. Amak enuka society lage jo discrimination hoy. Okay, supposedly if I say about a very beautiful country which was actually the son of India only, I can refer this country to be Pakistan. Okay, so anyways, jokes apart, if I have to say about Pakistan, I can directly say that Pakistan is a country which is full of discrimination. Today they tells other ones that you are not treating minorities well. Arey, what happened to you? How you are treating your minorities? Can I say that they have got a good number of population which is following some of the minority religions? I cannot expect. So that is the criteria. Okay, तो सुने सुनाई बातों पे ना कभी ध्यान मत देना. That is the level that what this country has got. Same number of time. তাহাঁতৰ যিমানখিনি ইণ্ডিপেণ্ডেন্স হৈ আছে আমাৰো সেই সিমান ইয়াৰ্ছ অফ ইণ্ডিপেণ্ডেন্স হৈছে, বাট উই হেভ ৰিচ আপ টিল মাৰ্চ। আমি মংগলয়ান এবাৰতে মাৰ্চলৈ পঠাই দিলোঁ, বাট দে আৰ ষ্টিল ট্ৰাইং টু ৰিচ কাশ্মীৰ, যিটো এতিয়াও নাপায় আৰু কেতিয়াও নাপায়। টুমৰো ইভেন দ্য POK উইল বি এন ইণ্টিগ্ৰেল পাৰ্ট অফ ইণ্ডিয়া। অ'কে, এণ্ড উই আৰ ডাইৰেক্টলি ফ'কাছিং অন মাছ মোৰ ইন দ্য কামিং টাইমছ। অ'কে, সেইখিনি পিছৰ কথা, বাট POK which is ours will be an integral part of India in the coming times. তাহাঁতে আজিলৈকে কাশ্মীৰ হ'ব নোৱাৰিলে, আমি মাৰ্চ গৈ পালোগৈ। So that is the level of egalitarianism that we are directly focusing on today's world. Because today if I see about the persons who are behind, or the faces behind the success of this Mangalyaan mission, Mangalyaan Mars Orbiter mission, Mangalyaan, the faces behind those success were basically women. Women's asile episode, the face behind. So এই বস্তুবিলাক কি? These are some number of emancipation that we need to associate ourselves in the coming time. Just a second, I just will go ahead. Okay, thank you anyways, Homen. Okay, so in this platform, I can directly say that every criteria that is associated with this emancipation about the respective empowerment, these are the much needed requirements, and I have told you that this is not a tale of today's time period. It's a tale of historical context. আৰু এই বস্তুটো আমি এনেকুৱা ভাবো যে সদায় আমি নিজৰ যিখিনি আমাৰ এতিয়া টাইম পিৰিয়ড হওক এই বস্তুটো যাতে ফিউচাৰলৈ নাযায় because if it directly goes with the future, then even the futures of us will also face such number of discrimination, and various number of our sisters, mothers, they will face the trauma associated with women discrimination. So itu nibisaru. We as a human being, we as a studious generation of today, we do not want that the problems that what women face today should go to the coming times. Our future loke hetu jabo lage, hetu ami ketio nibisaru. So moyo nibisaru. Okay, I have also got sisters. I work in a platform where I have got various number of employees to be my women who are like my sisters. Okay, at some point of time, I directly emancipates them to work in a very good atmosphere. I strictly maintains that yate ei bostu khini hobo na lage. So there are protocols which needs to be followed in each and every decorum that we needs to have in a society. And yate hekhini kotha ke koi ase about women's safety and empowerment. And therefore I can say that in passage of time, there are various laws like the Sarda Act, the Sati Abolition Act, the Hindu Widows Marriage Act, the Beti Bachao Beti Padhao, and the Equal Remuneration of the Act 1976. So these are some of the subjectives which are taken by the respective government, which you need to mention in this particular criteria of essay. Okay, so ekhini ahi gol amar women emancipation or opor. Okay, now if I comes to the next one. Okay, the next particular things directly says about the corruption-free India. Okay, if I say about the corruption-free India, let me go with the next page only. See. Now, if I say about the reasons for corruption in India, okay, you can see that there are various social and ethical reasons, there are economical reasons, there are political reasons, and there are respectively administrative reasons. So, reasons of corruption, and we all know corruption is basically a termite in our system of administration. It is a termite ho jay. Okay, it's basically like a kira, puk hoega. Once you directly starts your corruption activities, you can never wrap it down. Hodai jitu amar kong je the greediness, it will absolutely rise. Ketio komi nahe. Ebar corruption kora arambho kore dia. So that is the factor we need to control in our society today, because this is directly killing the overall system of administration that we have in our society. Okay, azikal to dekhai pai thaku. Okay, because the ACB, the Anti-Corruption Bureau, is regularly under the scanners of the people who are corrupted. Aru kiba ta hua loga loga enaka hat sar uthai pela rukhi diye, photo ekhon mari diye, hoy na noy? Okay, so you directly immerse your this hand, pink color bottle hoy gol aru loga log hat uthai pela photo uthai diye. And that is the good things that what this ACB is today doing. They are getting more and more active, because this is directly slowing, or this is directly staggering the corruption rates in our country. Though it is our bhal rank 9, but still today I can say that India is somewhere, it's in a very good position. Okay, 85 or usor asu ami ranking of corruption perception index done by Transparency International. So therefore I can directly say that over here this type of corruptions, which are basically social and ethical, saying about social discrimination, failure of education system, okay, economical, higher share of information sector, then political use of black money election, criminalization of politics, then I can say about criminalization of politics in administrative systems, then colonial bureaucracy, failed administrative reforms, low wages of public servant, judicial failure, lack of effective grievance resolution mechanism. So ei gute khini eta reasons hoy jay kihor karone corruption sarkar. So that is an important criteria why I have to say about the corruption mechanisms. Aru ei bostu opera bole amar eta bahut necessity hoy goise today, and therefore the government today is very much active to go ahead with this particular element. So obviously if you can remove the corruption in the coming times, then obviously we can dream of a very free India, and we can directly declare ourselves just like how we today declare ourselves to be free of tuberculosis. So tenage ami directly call karim that India is free of corruption. So that is one important factor that we need to discuss in this particular essay. Okay, তাৰপিছত ইয়াতে আমাৰ আহি যায় about the terror free country. Okay, terror free country. So we need to have ourselves with the terror threats. So we like it's a part something from the internal security that you need to go ahead. Okay, so ইয়াতে মই আৰু এটা বস্তু দেখাই দিছিলো about this one. Okay, the Transparency International, the Corruption Perception Index of 2021. Okay, India is around 85 of rank today. Okay, so যদি কিবা update আহে directly check কৰি লবা. Okay, so you can see the corrupted nations that what we can see today in our country. Okay, so these are less corrupted. The Scandinavian countries, the countries of like Norway, Finland, okay, Sweden, these are very much in top ranks. Okay, Canada, USA, they are basically some of the areas where I can find very less number of corruptions. Okay, now if I see about the terror things, okay, so terror things on much I can directly say that here if I have to say about the terror free country. So terror free country ki ho jaye, we know that India is directly associating itself with various number of activities like the terrorism. So I can club this terrorism, this Maoism, this insurgency under the extremism phenomena. Okay, so obviously whenever I am directly referring something with ISM, ধৰক মই যদি terror লগত মই ISM to লগাই দিওঁ, that is ultimately going with terrorism. So এটো মানে কি, it's basically an ideology. It's basically an ideology. Then when I say about ideology, ideology মানে কি? Supposedly, if today my name is Jepul, আৰু মই ইয়াতে কি লগাই দিলো, ISM লগাই দিলো, so এটো কি হৈ গল? Jepulism. So Jepulism কি হৈ যায়? It's basically an ideology. So আজি মোৰ যেটো orientations হয়, কালি পৰহি যে তোমালোকে এটো উঠাই লৈ লোৱা, then I can directly say that Jepulism is a new ideology. মই ক্ৰান্তি আনি দিম তোমালোকৰ লগত. So that is the factor what you need to say. So I have got a core belief. So hey belief kini tumayu logo thoriba. So that is a particular sector that you need to go ahead with this particular thing. Just a second, I will just read the essay. Okay, in words, how would you define corruption? Corruption is basically what? Corruption is basically, I can say, jodi eta word book kobo khuda. So I will directly write over here what is basically corruption. You can directly see to it. More word to question already. I can directly say in one word, corruption is referred to as a termite. It is a one word. Okay, termite is directly a one word of corruption. Okay, so hekiniye moi ko. Okay, so now if I say about the terror-free country, terror-free country means India is challenged with terrorism from a very long period of time. বহুত দিনৰ পৰা ইণ্ডিয়া চ্যালেঞ্জ ফেস কৰিছে এসোসিয়েটেড উইথ টেৰৰিজম জাস্ট বিকজ অফ আ ভেৰি কি কওঁ জাস্ট বিকজ অফ আ ভেৰি নেবাৰিং কান্ট্ৰি লাইক দ্য পাকিস্তান. Okay, Pakistan. It's a very country. Okay, like people says that नाम में क्या रखा है, but yes, नाम में बहुत कुछ रखा है. That is Pakistan. Okay. So I can directly say that Pakistan is not basically Pakistan, it can directly be referred to as the terroristan. So moi eto directly koribo paru. Because we know that any forms of terror elements that is directly coming in today towards India is basically coming in from Pakistan. So as moi ko about the FICN, the fake Indian currency notes, that is through the golden crescent, I can directly say that this is basically coming in from Pakistan. Okay, so keriba jodi etur logot doubt lage, just go and watch the movie Urta Punjab, where you can directly be clear of that kihor karone Pakistan or and the areas of the western border, if this is India, so this is particularly India, so efarar pora amar gute golden crescent to being Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan. Okay, so all this thing, and today we all know that how opium is doing like how opium is grown today in this particular nations like Afghanistan or keneke opium directly bahut grow hoye ase, and this has been openly directly traded between the countries which are basically near to Afghanistan. So hetu karone ami dekhisu je this type of terrorism, this type of problems which is totally posing a challenge today, because not only if I say about just I think 2 to 3 days back, just correct me if I am wrong, there is a particular attack on an army vehicle where around 4 to 5 number of our jawans directly was martyred and they was killed in action. Okay, so KIA, killed in action. So they were killed in action, and this was a very cowardly incident that have happened in the Poonch sector of Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, so probably you all know, okay, about the particular news of the people who are basically following me. Okay, probably you are all engaged with the current affairs recently. Okay, so if you have heard about the news, you can directly contribute saying about RIP or rest in peace to the respective soldiers. Okay, because these are the people who are protecting us from every forms of terror activities that we have seen in the recent past from a country like Pakistan. Okay, so obviously that type of cowardly activities can directly define ourselves to be a country faced with global terrorism activities. So before I can say 2000 2001, there hasn't been any form of activities associated with the Western nations. They do not recognize what is basically terrorism, what is basically the situations faced by the third world countries. So they thought that third world countries only have got the problems of terrorism. But thanks to Osama bin Laden, who directly went on to attack the Twin Tower in 2001 in USA, which made them realize that yes, terrorism is not a problem of the third world countries. Terrorism is a real problem of even the world. Okay, and today I can directly say that there is a particular differentiate between what is good terrorism and what is bad terrorism. Okay, so some countries like Pakistan, they support good terrorism. Okay, and some countries, they say about bad terrorism. Okay, even Pakistan, they say that anything, supposedly today if I say about Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan, who wants to liberate themselves from the government of Pakistan, so today they say that Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan is a bad terrorism, but they appreciate the Talibani government in Afghanistan. So therefore they are clearly making the differentiation between good terrorism and bad terrorism. But we as a country faced with terror activities, I can directly say that amar yate terrorism is altogether bad. Amar karne good terrorism, bad terrorism na. Amar karne terrorism is one of the area where we need to have a proper restrictions upon. So ekhini kotha ke ami yate olop discuss koribo lagibo about how we could directly go ahead with terrorism. It is supposedly if I say about a problem which is basically associated with terrorism only, jodi moi Maoism problem kom, which is basically in our eastern corridor, যিখিনি আমাৰ red corridor পৰে, যিখিনি আমাৰ areas dominated by the tribals like Chhattisgarh, Orissa, Jharkhand, এখিনিত আমাৰ অলপ পৰি যায়. So it's basically the areas something like this. Okay, if this is particularly India, okay, then we have this northeast over here. Okay, so a area খিনিক আমাক কি পৰি যায়? This is the area which is basically the red corridor, where I can directly find the Maoism threat. Okay, where from it emerged from an area just near to the chicken corridor which is known as Naxalbari. So ekhini parama arambho hoisile. Okay, so therefore I can say that today for this problem to tackle, government started up with a scheme which is known as Samadhan. Okay, so ebla bostu yata mention kori dibo para, because these are government strategies. Okay, so it basically said about smart leadership, it says about aggressive strategy, it says about motivation and training, it said about actionable intelligence. Okay, then it said about dashboard based key performance indicators, then it said about harnessing intelligence. Okay, then over here it says about action plan for each theater, then N says for no access to financings. So yeah, amar gutekini bostu khumai ase samadhana. Okay, tar upor there are various number of operations like Operation Green Hunt, Operation All Out. So ebla bostu amar kora goisile to tackle this number of areas from terror. So ebla ki hoy, these are the areas where I would directly say that India wants to become a terror free country, and this is one of the major criteria. So ekhini bostu amar yat thakibo lagibo. Okay, next ahum. Okay, any comments coming on? Okay, okay, next it says about what? Economically prosperous nation. Okay, economically prosperous nation. So moi jodi eta economically prosperous nation kotha kobo ahu, I can say that for every nation to be the top fabric of the organization, it's must that it should be economically prospering. Today, how I cannot say that Pakistan is a prosperous nation? Pakistan is what? Pakistan is directly moving from one place to another in forms of loans. Okay, aur kuno loan ni diye a country like Pakistan. So today I can directly say that aji jodi Pakistanor prime minister kobat jay, tahator matha to beya hoy jay, because they directly say that ahi golako ki poisa khojibole ahibo. Okay, obviously the leaders directly gets irritated. Even recently, if they went to China, even the Chinese president did not meet the Pakistani PM. So that is the attributes of the Pakistani PM. Okay, and we can see all such number of phenomena that is happening in Pakistan. Okay, about Imran Khan, about the Pakistani army, everything. So a gutekini bostu amar ahi jay about the economically prosperous. Today we all know that Pakistan has directly blocked the trade with India because of the recent airstrikes like the Balakot. Okay, amar eku loss one ji loss hoise tahatore loss hoise because enuka nohoy je tahate amar logot pura permanently block koribo parise via some other routes, that is not being India and Pakistan, via some other routes they are still trading with India because pharmaceutical products ba kiba aru jekini amar important products hoy horu hura he bostu bilak etiao tahate amar prai loi ase, but it is true via some other routes. It may be from UAE, it may be from Sri Lanka, but actually the origin of that particular product is India. Okay, so therefore I can say that economically prosperous nation is one of the very important area because through the economic prosperities you can see that food, shelter and some of the areas which are associated with ghar or house. Okay, jitu ami ko roti kapra makan. Okay, roti kapra makan etu amar karone eta important phenomena hoy jay. Okay, and everyone basically wants this particular three things, that is roti kapra makan. Aur roti kapra makan amak lagi boy. Okay, without food you cannot survive. Okay, without clothes you cannot go outside or you cannot directly sustain your livelihoods in a society, and also without households you cannot directly expect that you would directly live in this particular global earth for a longer period of time, because obviously we need protection from wind, we need protection from sun, we need protection from rain and every other physical diversities. So ekhini bostu amar karone important hoy, and therefore the economics of the country directly says about the progressive attitude of a respective country. So yat jodi moi etia olop ei Indian economy snapshot to moi jodi ebar dekhai diu. So this is the type of things that we can see today. Okay, Indian economy at snapshots. Okay, just erase it. Hol Musa? Okay. Anyways, so I can directly say that Indian economy is really more snapshot to sound. You can see the GDP growth is very important. The production of food grains is very important, which is slowly going ahead. Industrial growth is very important. The service sector growth is important. The inflation is important. The India's foreign trade is important. Ebilak amar karone bahut important hoy jay. Okay, so that is the respective factors that we need to contribute towards a growing economy like India. Okay, so ekhini bostu asile amar economic context. Okay, tarpsot jodi moi kau housing for all jitu moi already kolu. Okay, so you can see that how and housing crisis is a very disturbing factor for a family. Okay, so you can see today how this family is very much in a smiling face. Okay, aji eta smile kori ase, aji jai tekhotokole hahi ase. Okay, so it is all because of a program which is known as Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, PMAY. Okay, giving households or giving pakka households to everyone who cannot directly make or frame their own housings. So ekhini bostu amar ahi jay in this particular criteria which you needs to include in the respective essay alongside with this PMAY scheme. And if you can integrate about the number of schemes or number of areas or the like the population with which they have directly access this particular number of households, so you can quote such number of information in this particular essay parts also. Okay, so etu ahi gol yate tarpsot amar ahi jay ki free education and quality education for all. আমি এনুকা নহয় যে আমি ফ্ৰী এডুকেশ্যন পঢ়ালে হ'ব। ৰাইট টু ফ্ৰী এডুকেশ্যনৰ কেতিয়াবা ভ্যালু নোহোৱা হৈ যাব পাৰে কেতিয়া যেতিয়া বস্তুটোৰ কোৱালিটি নাথাকিব। So quality is very important. Without having this particular quality, you cannot achieve education for all. See, there is a difference between literate and being educated. The proportions what we have today in our country, anyways, it is not also 100%. Enuka nohoy je literate 100% ase. People today we can see jimane ase 72.19 according to 11 census jimane ase. Okay, so this 70 to 80% jekhini amar pori ase, they are basically literate. They know to read and write, and even it directly assumes some of the religious studies also. Okay, enuka nohoy je sobe science mathematics e pohi ase, religious study eta kumai ase. But I can directly say that people are less educated today. hardly we can see people are educated. People are literate, but people are not that educated. And that is the real problem in this particular structure of education which we have today in our country. Hetu karone ami ki loi ahisilu new education policy 2020 to give what? To give the quality amongst education. Aru hetu amar eta important criteria hoi jay why we need to follow this number of phenomena associated with the education scenario. Okay. So এটো আমাক লাগিব NEP 2020 আৰু এই NEP 2020 তে আমি কি শিকিছিলো NEP 2020 আমি দেখিছিলো about this one. Okay, এই বস্তুটো এই স্ট্ৰাকচাৰটো আমাৰ ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট হয়. If you can include this in your essays, this is very important. Okay, বহুত ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট বস্তু হৈ যায়. আগতে আমাৰ কি এডুকেশন স্ট্ৰাকচাৰ আছিল এইটো আছিল. Okay, আগতে আমি প্ৰাইমেৰীটো ইমান ধ্যান দিছিলো. Okay, so it is all west. Okay, আমি লাহে লাহে কোপা ধ্যান দিও এইটো 6 to 16 years of age 10 years দিও আৰু 2 বছৰ পঢ়ে 11 12 But এতিয়া আমাৰ অলপ বদলি গল পেলাই এটো আমাৰ হৈ গল ফাউন্ডেশনাল এটো প্ৰিপাৰেটৰি এটো মিডল হৈ গল আৰু এটো সেকেন্ডাৰি হৈ গল তো ইয়াতে 2 years 3 years ইয়াতে আছে অংগনবাড়ি থাকিব ক্লাস 1 and 2 ওকে দেন 3 years এটা থাকিল ক্লাস 3 to 5 এটা থাকিল ক্লাস 6 to 8 আৰু এটা থাকিল ক্লাস 9 to 12 তো এতিয়া আমি অলপ স্ট্ৰাকচাৰটো বদলালো তো ইয়াতে নিউ স্ট্ৰাকচাৰ আমি কি কৰিছো 5 + 3 + 3 + 4 এটো বহুত ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট হয় 5 + 3 + 3 + 4 ওকে সো ইয়াতে যেতিয়া আমি 5 বুলি কওঁ 5 ত এই 5 টোক আমি ডিভাইড কৰিছো কেনেকে 5 টো আমি ডিভাইড কৰিছো in 3 + 2 ওকে 3 + 2 কি হ'ব অংগনবাড়ি স্কুলস ওকে বাল বাটিকা এবিলাকত 3 to 6 years ভিতৰত আমি পঠাম আৰু ইয়াতে 3 years পঠাব আৰু 2 বছৰত কি পঢ়িব ক্লাস 1 আৰু 2 টো পঢ়িব ওকে দ্যাট ইজ এজ age of 6 to 8 so ইয়াতে আমাৰ ফাউন্ডেশন ষ্টেজত মাল্টি লেভেল প্লে এক্টিভিটি বেসড লার্নিং প্রিপারেটরি ষ্টেজত প্লে ডিসকভারি এন্ড এক্টিভিটি এন্ড ইন্টাৰেক্টিভ ক্লাসৰুম মিডল ষ্টেজত experience learning in the science mathematics arts okay যেটো এটো আহি যায় আৰু লাষ্টত আমাৰ সেকেন্ডাৰি ষ্টেজত মাল্টিডিসিপ্লিনাৰী ক্রিটিক্যাল থিংকিং ফ্লেক্সিবিলিটি এন্ড স্টুডেন্ট চয়েস অফ সাবজেক্টস এই গুটেখিনি আমাৰ থ্ৰু দা NEP 2020 আমি ইমপ্লিমেন্ট কৰিবলৈ কৈ আছো okay that is one of the very important sector associated with this structure তো এইখিনি বস্তু আমাৰ এডুকেশনৰ ভিতৰত আমি সোমাই দিব লাগিব তাৰপিছত আমাৰ আহি যায় কি scientific method as an ongoing process ইয়াতে কৈ আছে scientific achievement scientific achievement okay আৰু আমাৰ ইভেন ফান্ডামেন্টাল ডিউটিজ অটো কোৱা আছে to develop scientific temper কোৱা আছিল না নাই okay can anyone comment me down that in which part okay আৰু which part আৰু কোনটো আৰ্টিকল আমাৰ ফান্ডামেন্টাল ডিউটিজৰ কথা কোৱা আছে in the Indian constitution comment it মই চাব বিচাৰিছো কিমান মনত আছে তোমালোকৰ সৰু একদম সিম্পল কোৱেশ্চন হয় it's a very simple question মুখত থাকিব লাগে সবৰে tip of the tongue থাকিব লাগে people who are doing can you comment it down about what is the part and the article which says about fundamental duties okay আৰু আমাৰ কিমানটা fundamental duties আছে হেটো মোক কোনবা কব পাৰে যদি I will appreciate that person okay I will take the name in the session though it's a very simple question but still I need to take কাৰণ বহুত সময় লকে no one is directly saying about anything okay Rajashri yes 11 yes good এইকিটা কিতাপখন মেলি চাইছা নেকি আৰু কোনবাই কিতাপখন মেলি নাচাবা ভুল হৈছে যদিও মই কাৰেক্ট কৰি দিম but I wants to know that is simple information to কিমান জনে কয় মোক ইয়াতে many people are believing today আহিব না ৰিপ্লাই না মই ইয়াতে ৰখি থাকিব লাগিব আজি জাস্ট এই দুটা কোৱেশ্চনৰ কাৰণে Huh? You do not know about what is the part and article saying about the fundamental duties. Lakshmi Khan khon khuli bola time lagise niki dia so bode anyways okay so you can see the scientific method as an ongoing process so it is a scientific process so refine alter expand reject hypothesis yate ki abo first thought make observations first observe কৰিব লাগিল তাৰপিছত আমি ইন্টাৰেষ্টিং কোৱেশ্চনস আমি প্যাটাৰ্ন কেনেকৈ হে বস্তুটো আমি আগবঢ়াই লৈ যাম এটো বস্তু আমাৰ কাৰণে ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট হৈ যায় তাৰপিছত আমি কি কৰিব লাগিব formulating hypothesis okay what are the general cause of phenomena I am wondering about মই বস্তুটো কিহৰ কাৰণে ভাবি আছো কি কৰিবলৈ ভাবি আছো that is one of the important factor then develop testable predictions যেটো মই কৰিবলৈ ভাবিছো যেটো মই টেষ্ট কৰিব লাগিব obviously to get some of the areas it is supposedly মই যদি সাপোজলি মই যদি এটা মিসাইল যদি মই আমাৰ আৰ্মি ইন্ডাক্ট কৰিব লাগে, so এটুক মই কি কৰিব লাগিব, I will directly go and test it in the firing range. So testing is very essential. Okay, তাৰপিছত gather data to test predictions. Okay, so মই বাহিৰৰ যোনে অলৰেডি সেই কামবিলাক কৰিছে, মই তেনেকুৱা টাইপৰ ডাটা মই প্ৰডিউস কৰিব লাগিব, so that মই ডাটাটো এটা ভাল ডাটা এটা মই পাব পাৰো. So that is one of the major factors. Then develop general theories book লাগিব. Obviously it's a basically something which is static. Okay, or last one we will directly refine, alter, expand or reject hypothesis. মানে কিছুমান ক্ষেত্ৰত আমি কি কৰিব লাগিব, ৰিফাইন কৰিব লাগিব, ৰিফাইন কৰি পেলাই যিবিলাক লাগে সেইবিলাক ৰাখিব লাগিব, যিবিলাক নালাগে সেইবিলাক আমি ৰিজেক্ট কৰিব লাগিব. সো এইটো আমাক সাইন্টিফিক এডভান্সমেন্টৰ কথা কৈ দিয়ে, so that we can make our India a beautiful India in the coming time. So you can see such a number of scientific advancement that we can see. Okay, so এইটো আমাৰ আহি গল the MOM mission. Okay, আৰু এইটো আমাৰ আছে Chandrayaan 2. Okay, it's basically a failure eko paru. Eti আমাৰ আহি আছে Chandrayaan 3. Okay, so this is a very important factor that you need to go ahead. Okay, এইবিলাক আমাৰ হৈ গল. Okay, about you can say about the PSLV. Okay, এইটো আমাৰ এটা solar mission হয়. It's a solar mission যেটো আমি কৈ আছো Aditya L1. Okay, so এইটো আমি এটা recently start কৰিম এতিয়া. Okay, so that's a very important factor. Last one আমার কি আহি যায়, healthy nation. Sorry. Okay, so healthy nation কথা আহি যায়. Healthy nation মানে if a population is healthy, এটা population যদি healthy হৈ থাকে, then obviously কি হ'ব, সেই population বা সেই country খনৰ okay good people 51A ঠিক আছে, good part 4 good. So anyways, যদি মই কম about a healthy nation, তো healthy nation বুলি কোৱাৰ লগে লগে I can directly say that if a population of a country is healthy, then obviously the country or the government does not have to focus in much with the health sector. Okay, so এটো কাৰণে আমি healthy population এটা ৰাখাটো আমাৰ কাৰণে এটা বহুত ডাঙৰ essential requirements হৈ যায়. Okay, and therefore today we can see that there has been a revolution in the health sector today. Okay, আমি নিজকে নিজে আমি যেতিয়া আমি corona covid pandemic আহিছিলে, we have seen that how our particular scientists, how our particular medical institutions or how our particular medical physicians, they are much after to prevent such number of pandemics. So etu karone ami jimane dekhu je when I am talking about a healthy nation, then obviously the human health, okay, the environmental health and animal health is a supreme element, because human health bhal নহলে ketio country khonor progress nohobo. Okay, environmental health jodi ami jitu ami ukha loi asu, hey ukhaduke jodi polluted hoy thake, we know about today Guwahati like the atmosphere is very bad, Delhi atmosphere very bad, PM 2.5 PM10 এবিলাকৰ মাত্ৰা বহুত বাঢ়ি গৈ আছে. So today we need to create an environment which is very much healthy. Okay, and obviously this should be made by planting trees. আৰু last one আমাৰ animal health আহে, so you can see about the bird flus. Okay, you can see about the swine flu which is basically related to animals. You can see about the avian flus. So এবিলাকৰো আমাৰ এটা important factor হয়, because sometimes this number of factors of animals or পৰা যিখিনি বেমাৰ সেইখিনি directly humans ৰ তাতো আহি যায়. Okay, so obviously we have to say about a one health which is common to all, আৰু তেতিয়াহে আমি এখন healthy nation বনাব পাৰিম. So that is one of the important criteria once you need to achieve when you have to go ahead with this. Okay, so এটো আমাৰ এটা health system হৈ যায়, এটা চাই লবা আমাৰ এটা national digital health mission ও আছে. Okay, where all this number of things are associated. Supposedly health ID card আছে, telemedicine, digi doctor, e-pharmacy, personal health details and health family registry. তো এই গোটেইখিনি বস্তু আছে, and this is the type of centers what we need to have today. তো আমাৰ ইয়াতে এইখিনি আছে. Okay, তো আমাৰ এটা আছে sub center, level of care is primary. Okay, এইখিনি আমাৰ sub center হয়. Then we have got the primary health center, we have got the community health centers. So these are the respective elements which you need to look forward when you are directly discussing about the pattern and the hierarchy of health system today we have in our country. Okay, so ekhini bostu amar hoy jay health or upor. Okay, then we could see about the food security. Food security amar karone important hoy. Without that food security, it will be very difficult for us to go ahead with the process of having a healthy like population. Okay, so আমি food security কৰিব লাগে, আৰু আমি food security কেনেকৈ কৰিছিলো, National Food Security Act of 2013. Okay, so through this we are directly having the food security and we are giving each and everyone various forms of food, okay, which is basically giving them proteins, vitamins, okay, and also the ingredient required for the proper regulation of the body system. তো এইখিনি আমাক লাগি আছে, তো এইখিনি কথা আমি অকণ ক'ব লাগিব about food security. Then we can say about the employment for all. Okay, employmentor কথা আমি অকমান ক'ব লাগিব. So you can see about the employment, because employment is very essential. So today we are directly focusing on giving more and more employment to the people of our generations. So যিমানে মানুহ বেছি এমপ্লয়েড হ'ব, সিমানে কাণ্ট্ৰিখনৰ যেটো ইকনমিক বাৰ্ডেন হ'ব, সেই ইকনমিক বাৰ্ডেনটো কমিব, and therefore slowly everything will directly come into place. So এইটো কাৰণে employability কাৰণে we are directly focusing on giving employment to everyone, basically both in the public as well as in the private sector. So today if I have to refer the employment status of our country, okay, so here is how para the top 10 states where you can see this one employment status, the top 10 states where the major part of the employable pool, okay, so you can see all West Bengal, Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, so ekhini amar employable hoy. So employable pool sector wise to the com pharma sobot ke besi hoy ase 54%, engineering on 51%, ITI 46%, MCA master of computer applications 43%, business administration 41%, arts, commerce which are below 33%, okay. So because exact data are not available, so ekhini amar eta employable pool sector hoy, that is through sector wise, okay. So ekhini amar employable status asile the top 10 states where the major pools are this particular factors. So ekhini amar importantly ahi jay about employment, okay. So therefore we'll come to this end of this particular essay. Eta amar final thoughts to ki ahi jay. Final thoughts is saying about that the dreams could only be accomplished if all the citizens of the nation contribute in them. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam once said that dream is not what you see in sleep, it is the thing which does not let you sleep. India is a country of 1.3 billion people where billions of hopes and aspirations emerge, but very few of them are transformed into reality. We all need to work collectively to make our dreams become reality. That is one of the important factors when I have to say about your respective dream. You listen? Food security SDG 2 কথা mention কৰিব পাৰি না sir? Yes, obviously, why not? Okay, any type of factors, okay, you can go with the SDGs. We have got 17 SDGs. এই SDGs gita মনত ৰাখিবা, okay, that is very important criteria, okay. We all know this SDGs will directly end up in 2030, okay, which has been coming in from the Millennium Developmental Goals, okay. 2015 ত start হৈছিল, 15 years ৰ আমি এটা like time period লৈছো. তো ইয়াতে poverty loi, health loi, food security loi pelai, environment loi pelai, life below water loi pelai, okay, infrastructure loi pelai, economy loi pelai, employment opportunities loi pelai, jiman lag amar SDG ase ei gutei bilak you can directly integrate under the respective heads, okay. That is one of the very important factor also you can directly contribute to your respective essays, okay. tar uporoto jodi ketiba environmental kotha koy tete hole dhorilo amar jibilak goal ase, supposedly we will become carbon neutral by 2070, okay, will become developed by around 2047. So ebila bostu amar lagibo. You can even say about the demographic dividend in the health period. Health jitu kotha koi asa tate demographic dividend kotha koi jaba kyo karone, because today we have got a younger population which is of the age group of 15 to 55 years of age, working population jak iman care na lage, aru hetu karone sage ami covid or pora bhalke haribo parisu just because our population is very young, okay. So therefore ebila kotha ko para demographic dividend kotha ko para in the health sector, okay. So এইবিলাক যিমানে ডেকা পপুলেশ্যন থাকিব সিমানে আমি ইনভেষ্টমেন্ট কৰিবলৈ কম লাগিব, হেলথ সেক্টৰত কম লাগিব। যিমানে আমাৰ এজ হৈ যাব, যিমানে আমাৰ ওল্ডাৰ পপুলেশ্যন থাকিব, তেতিয়া আমাৰ কি হৈ যাব, আমি হেলথ সেক্টৰত বেছি কন্ট্ৰিবিউট কৰিব লাগিব। So these are the things that you can mention, okay, that's not an issue. So therefore if I give a final thought to this, you can directly say that today if I say about India, so overall I can say that the dreams could be accomplished with the quote of APJ Abdul Kalam, which say that dream is not what you see in sleep, it is a thing which does not let you sleep. Dream enuka bostu nohoy jetu tomak shantire hubo diye, dreams enuka bostu juntu tomak shantire hubo nidiye, and therefore you can say that even today the Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi, okay, he travels at night and he attends meeting regularly every day and he has got a very tight schedule, okay, just because he is directly dreaming of India to become more powerful and more developed in the coming times. Okay, so you can quote an example of even him, okay, that how he worked relentlessly and how he has never taken off during the time period even when his mother got passed recently, okay. Even all of you remember, okay, so basically suppose like monot say how Narendra Modi's mother recently died. Okay, may she rest in peace, because she has given India a very eminent and an efficient leader. So obviously, I can say that how even during his mother, when this lady, this dynamic lady, died on the morning, okay, there was obviously no hullabaloo and there was no any VIP presence. Obviously, he being the prime minister, he directly carried her on his shoulders, and obviously at some point of time, just after he directly attended some of the inaugural functions, which was basically online. Okay, so he did not cancel any functions. Okay, that was a type of dynamism that we need to have being a leader. Okay, so all these are leadership qualities that we need to proclaim over here in this particular category. Okay, so ekini amar ahi gol the first passage or upar. Okay, chalo moving to the next passages. So etu eta last eta mor eta dhuniya ke mor eta picture di thoi disilu. Okay, next ahi gol amar ki, should a moratorium be imposed on all fresh mining in tribal areas of the country? Okay. Okay, hope everyone who has been joining is liking the whole explanations that what we are doing today. Okay, we are relentlessly going on with the efforts to make everything crystal clear to you. Okay, if you have got any type of queries associated, you can directly write down in the comment sections. I will try to rectify each and every comments that directly comes. I am directly looking forward to the comment sections also. Okay, kiba jodi doubts ase, kiba jodi khumabo bisara ba kiba je tumalage likhisila যিখিনি ধৰি লোৱা মই নাই কোৱা, যদি তোমালোকৰ কিবা প্ৰবলেমছ আছে, you can directly say it to me. I can directly say that it's you needs to write this or not in that particular essay. Okay, so সেইখিনি বস্তু তোমালোকে তোমালোকৰ ফালৰ পৰা বস্তুটো আহিলে I will feel happy. Okay, chalo going with the next one, I can say, should a moratorium be imposed on all fresh mining in tribal areas of the country? So moratorium বুলি কি হৈ গল, এটো কলে কয় that it's a temporary ban. Okay, etu enuka nohoy ki sob time ote hobo, it's a temporary ban that we need to have on our country's mining sector. Okay, so we know that today if I see about the resource, okay, it's created more effort, so mining is important. Thik ase. So can I ask forward a question that if mining is important, I know mining is important, but does mining comes free in cost? Obviously, can I say that mining does not affects anyone, or can I say that mining does not displaces anyone? Ekita agree koriba niki je mining never displaces anyone, mining does not affects anyone, mining does not has got any cost? Ase niki? Ase. You cannot say that it's obviously that mining is not hampering anyone. Okay, so today if I say about the people who are basically tribals, okay, for a tribal I can directly say tribals or karone main important key factor hoise, tribals I can say tahator karone tinta bostu important hoy. Water district, jal, jungle and zameen. Okay, that is one of the important factor of a tribal. बहुत important factor हो जाए. That is jal, jungle and zameen. So in this particular sector, I can directly say that jal, jungle and zameen is one of the major criteria of even the people who are fighting being Naxalites, and who are referred to as whom? Gandhi with guns. These are also referred to as what? The Maoist. Okay, who has been influenced by the theory of Mao Zedong of China, and who started their respective categories from areas like Naxalbari in West Bengal, and this is all in relation to the atrocities that has been done with respect to the tribals. Okay, so their places has totally been ransomed. তাহাঁতক তেখেতসকলক উঠাই নিছিলে তেখেতসকলৰ লেণ্ডৰ পৰা. So today if I say, just think that if I tomorrow go to you, since I am basically an authority, mani loa মোৰ authority আছে to make you replace from your home. At some point of time, if I directly go to your household and replaces you from your home, which is basically your ancestral home, your father is attached to that home, you are attached to that home, your grandfather was attached to that home, your great grandfather was attached to that home. আৰু মই যদি কালি পৰহি তোমাৰ সেই অথৰিটিত গৈ পেলাই তোমাৰ সেই ঘৰটো ভাঙি দিওঁ আৰু কওঁ যে ইয়াৰ পৰা উঠি যা, so obviously you will feel bad. And even this is done by the government, so you cannot even complain the government. So therefore at such a scenario there are various factors which emerged in the past which ultimately leads to frustrations amongst the tribals. আৰু সেইটো এটা আমাৰ important criteria হৈ যায় পাৰি. আৰু সেইটো কাৰণে ইয়াতে কোৱা গৈছে কোৱেশ্চনটোত that should a moratorium be imposed on all fresh mining in tribal areas of the country. যিমানখিনি ট্ৰাইবেল এৰিয়াজ আছে আমাৰ ইণ্ডিয়াত সেইখিনিত চবতে আমি টেম্পৰাৰী ৰেষ্ট্ৰিকশনছ লগাব লাগে নে নালাগে সেইটোৱে মেইন ডিমান্ড অফ দ্য এছে হয়. So ইয়াতে আমি ক'ব লাগিব about what? About the mining, about the peoples and their respective rights. Okay, about you can even discuss about the property rights, right to property. You can mention about the cases, okay, associated with the right to property. You can start with the Shankari Prasad case versus Union of India of 1951. Ahi jabo tar pora sob cases bila. Okay, you can mention how a fundamental right is being destined today as legal right. A gute khini ahi jabo amar. Okay, then you can also say that why, because of this particular things associated with property, how with this phenomenon of clashes there has been various number of violent movements which started during this particular period, that is of 1960s 70s. Ekhini amar karone bahut important factor hoi jay. So a gute khini amar yate necessary elements lagibo. Okay, so we will go with the discussion of this essay. Just let me rub. Okay, so see, yate kya kaise ki more than 65 years has been passed where the people of India took the reins of this country in our own hands. Since then, okay, it was 75 kilo. Okay, so since then, one of the many priorities for us has been economic development of the country. Mineral extraction is crucial for economic growth, but it has conflicted with other social groups' interests and survival. It is necessary to analyze the dilemma of the government is facing. Okay, so today we will see about the significance of mining activity of India. So obviously I can say that mining has got a better significance today in our country. Without mining you cannot directly expect that we will directly move for a greater economical hold in our country. Jodi amar osor resources na thake, jodi amar osor jekhini earth resources jekhini ami directly earth or pora pao, jodi hekini na thake, maybe sage aji he resource kini nuhwa ke moi na aji a light to produce koribo pariloten, na probably moi a screen khon produce koribo pariloten. Okay, na moi a pen to utilize koribo pariloten, aru na tumaloke a resource di pelai tumaloke chat koribo parila hai, aru na tumaloke through this any medium, because obviously somewhere this particular thing is getting recorded. Tumaloke live cholai asa, mobile to use kori asa, mobile to bitor jikhini elements humai ase, lithium battery, okay, every type of devices, small devices, electronic gadgets, equipments korpora hoy ase. These are some of the minerals that is coming in from deep inside the earth. Okay, কিছুমান বস্তু ক্ৰাষ্টত আছে, কিছুমান বস্তু মেন্টেলত আছে, কিছুমান কোৰত আছে, maximum কোৰতে থাকে, but still these are the areas where I can directly say about the process associated with the extraction of minerals. So even if I say about today about electricity, korpora hoy ase, coal. Okay, we have got the anthracite coal, we have got the bituminous coal, we have got the lignite coal, we have got the peat coal. Okay, anthracite amar osor bahut kom, Jammu and Kashmir aru olop sab Jharkhandot poa jay, amar maximum ki ase bituminous coal to ase. So today if I see, though we are slowly moving towards renewable source of energy, but still our non-renewable source of energy খিনি এতিয়া আমরা ইউজ কৰি আছো. We can directly say that over here in this particular category, I can directly say that today 60% of our energy requirements are directly coming in from thermal energy, which is burning of coal. Important criteria হৈ যায়. So এইটো কাৰণে আমাক কি লাগি আছে? Minerals লাগি আছে. So therefore there is a lot many number of significance of this particular minerals. Minerals or significance বহুত আছে. Without minerals you cannot directly say that we can directly hold our respective livelihoods. Our livelihood to soliboi নোৱাৰিব without minerals. So এইটো কাৰণে আমাৰ important criteria হয় minerals. আৰু এইটো কাৰণে আমাক কি লাগিব? Extraction of minerals লাগিব. Because obviously minerals তো এনেকুৱা নহয় কি ধুনিয়াকে চলি ফুৰি আমাৰ ওচৰত ঘৰলে গুচি আহিব। এনেকুৱাটো নহয়। So minerals মাটি খান্দি নিজে উলাই পেলাই ঘৰলে নাহে আমাৰ। আমি গৈ পেলাই খান্দিব লাগিব। খান্দি পেলাই minerals টো উলিয়াব লাগিব। Then only I can say that minerals will directly be available to us. Obviously it's a very difficult process. Okay, so etu karone amak eta lage je koise the Geological Survey of India estimated that the country has around how much 350 billion tons of coal reserves, and consumption of coal is expected to increase by around 1500 tons per year by 2031. Obviously it's a non-renewable resources that we have in our country. Okay, and even various number of plants directly focused. Okay, jodi moi first year planner kotha kobole jao, okay, which is basically coming in from the 1951 to 1956. Okay, so very small question, but still the people who are seeing, to agote amar planning commission asle etia ki hoy ase, and if I will feel happy if you directly write the full form of supposedly moi koi disu, like if you see about the planning commission which has recently been replaced by a respective body. So a bostu a body to ami short form to sobe jano, but can you tell me about the full form of that particular body that has replaced the planning commission? Okay, so a bostu to mugata comment section koiba. So etia ki hoy ase that when I am directly saying about the tribals and their respective elements associated with mining activities, to ami jano that mining is an important criteria, but still this has been directly making a good number of peoples associated with these areas a sufficient number of problems that they have today in their respective areas. Ami ki jano je if I look forward with countries like India, okay, just a second. Okay, if supposedly if I say about this one, okay, Vedanata Niyamgiri, this is a respective area in regions like Orissa. Okay, aru ekhinit ki problems to hoisile, the problems that is associated with these people were they directly fought against the various number of mining and illegal activities that have happened in their respective areas. Tekhelakole dhorna disile. Okay, aru ei dhorna diar pisot these peoples were forcefully displaced from this area. Okay, government did not respond to any number of confusions created amongst these tribes, because obviously this has directly hampered their livelihoods. This has destructively killed their agricultural products that they grow. They have restricted the forest produces that have grown in this particular area. এই গোটেই বস্তুখিনি তেখেতসকলে এফেক্টেড হৈছিলে, আৰু এই এফেক্টখিনি গভৰ্ণমেণ্টে কোনো ৰেক্টিফিকেশ্যন নকৰিলে, কোনো ক্লাৰিফিকেশ্যনছ নিদিলে তেখেতসকলক, আৰু যেতিয়া নিদিলে তেখেতসকলক they obviously became very fierce, and therefore they tried to go ahead with this process of not going in favor of any government. So এইখিনি বস্তু আমি এটা বস্তু ৰিলেট কৰি দিব পাৰো that how in the recent past, because of such non-cooperation with the tribals, how we have faced a problem like Maoism which still existed today. Etu belek kotha je aji drastically komi goi ase. We have hardly got some of the 4 to 5 districts mainly which has got this Maoist problem, but at certain stage of time we need to even eliminate this 5 to 6 districts also. So etu karone yate jikhini amar tribals asile, we have to care about the tribals. They have got the same type of rights what today we have got. Jikhini fundamental rights আজি মোৰ আছে, তোমালোকৰ আছে, the 6 fundamental rights, এই 6 fundamental rights তেখেতসকলৰো আছে। They are treated equal as per any respective number of people that we have today in our country. যদি আজি কোনবা ট্ৰাইবেলে a free life access to শুনি আছে, then also yes, they are all correct in their respective position. তেখেতসকল তোমালোকৰ নিচিনা same type of elementত বান্ধি আছে, that is with respective to the Indian constitution. মই আজি অকমান আগতে যেটো সুধিলো about fundamental duties, even they have got this number of fundamental duties to develop scientific temper, to eulogize India, গোটেইখিনিত বস্তু they have got a significant part. The type of education what they are rendering is the same type of education you have also got access to. So এই বস্তুখিনি আমি এটা similar situationত point out কৰিব লাগিব. Okay, so in this respective frame, start with the 51-56, where a positive policy of assisting tribals to develop their natural resources and create productive economic life was emancipated. But yes, we cannot achieve to keep the promises that we took place in 1951-56 first 5-year plan. আমি নোৱাৰিলো ৰাখিব। আৰু এই নোৱাৰা কাৰণে আমাৰ প্ৰবলেমটো হৈ গ'ল about the problems that what the tribals face today in our countries, and many have been declared today as the PVTGs. That is the particular vulnerable tribal groups. Can anyone directly say me in the comment section what is the number of PVTGs that we can find in our country? I want everyone to be saying that in the comment section. PVTGs, particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Kimanta particularly vulnerable tribal groups recognized by the country of India's government is today saying about the PVTGs. Give the answer. Okay, so you need to comment it in the comment section. I will study the comment then. Okay, so এই বস্তুটো আমাৰ ইয়াতে আহি যায়, that how we can directly stop the mining activities to make them feel more compassionate as well as more cooperative in the coming times, so that they can feel that they are particularly in their homeland and they are not being treated as is into discrimination হৈ আছে, they are not being treated as par with other peoples. এই যেটো মাইন্ডসেট, এই মাইন্ডসেটটো আমি ভাঙিব লাগিব, because আমি যিমানে ভাঙি দিম এই মাইন্ডসেটটো, then obviously at some point of time we will directly ultimately make a progress in our society. And even you can relate this to the other essay that you have written about the dream of making India a better country. So আমাৰ তাত এইবিলাক প্ৰবলেম আছে। So মই হেতু terrorismত কৈছিলো আগৰটো। Okay, so you can utilize this particular one also. So you can take the example of this particular Dongria Kon tribes, which is basically a tribe associated with the region of Orissa. Okay, so Dongria Kon tribe, a tribe to amar bahut important hoy. Okay, because they protested against the atrocities that has been done with respective to them. Aru government সেইখিনি বস্তুকে তেখেতসকলৰ rights খিনি বচাবলৈ government came up with the thing which is known as the Schedule 5 of the Indian Constitution, and from Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram and Tripura we came up with the Schedule 6 of the Indian Constitution. Okay, tar uportu we can see about various number of articles saying about article 371 A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J ase amar, which is associated with the tribals. So এই বস্তুখিনি আমাৰ আহিছে with the classification, and thereby we can see that various number of statutory bodies came into prominence, various number of this autonomous councils also came into prominence. So এই বস্তুখিনি আমাৰ কাৰণে important factor হৈ যায়। তো এইখিনি আমাক চাব লাগিব with this particular passage, okay, with this particular things. তো এই বস্তুখিনি আমি importantly discuss কৰিব লাগিব। Okay, obviously you need to also say about what is their respective cultural beliefs. আজি আমি জানো যে we do not take care of the cultural beliefs of this particular people who are associated with this number of tribal peoples. Okay, তো তেখেতসকলৰ কি আছে, তেখেতসকলে ডাইৰেক্টলি এই যিখিনি কালচাৰেল ফেক্টৰ হয়, আমি এই কালচাৰেল ফেক্টৰখিনিক ইমান ধ্যান নিদিওঁ। কিহৰ কাৰণে? Because we do not try to integrate themselves in their respective society. তাহাঁতৰ societyখনৰ লগত আমি মিলিবলৈ ভালকে নোৱাৰো বা আমি মিলিবলৈ ভালকে নাজানো, বা তেখেতসকলৰ যিখিনি প্ৰেক্টিচেছ হয় সেই প্ৰেক্টিচখিনি আমি আকোৱালি নলওঁ। আৰু যেতিয়া আমি সেই প্ৰেক্টিচেছখিনি আকোৱালি নলওঁ, then obviously at some point of time they will feel some form of pain in their respective heart. আৰু এই পেনটো আমি ৰাখিব নিবিচাৰো with respective to any number of people living in this particular country because we want to create at some point of time an egalitarian society which would emancipate us in the greater whole of the larger atmosphere. Okay, so ইয়াত সেইখিনি কথা ক'ব পাৰা ইয়াতে অলপ চলপ. Okay, then if I see about the areas, so see some of the data that you can directly write over here. Okay, ইয়াতে data কথা কোৱা গৈছে. Mining projects have displaced 60 million tribals, leading to landlessness, joblessness, homelessness, marginalization, food insecurity, increased morbidity and mortality, loss of access to common property resources, social disarticulation, and reach to host population. এই বস্তুখিনি হৈছিলে কিহৰ কাৰণে? Because of this particular projects which has been going on. Okay, since we have to only say about this one, that is the mining projects. ইয়াতে বেলেগখিনি কথা ডিসকাস নকৰিবা. Okay, basically focus থাকিবা মাইনিংছৰ ওপৰত. So এখানে আমি I know that because of some of the industries to set up, okay, so সেইকাৰণে অকমান ডিসপ্লেস হৈছিলে. So সেইবিলাক বস্তু ইমান বেসিক্যালি আমি ডিসপ্লেস বা আমি বেসিক্যালি ডিসকাস কৰিব নালাগে. So basically we need to focus much more towards the mining sectors and how this mining sectors, because আমি জানো যে আমাৰ যিখিনি মাইনিং ইন্ডাস্ট্ৰিজ বা আমাৰ যিখিনি মাইনিং ৰিজাৰ্ভছ হয় সেইখিনি মেইনলি কোড কনসেন্ট্ৰেটেড হৈ আছে ইন দ্য ৰেসপেক্টিভ ইষ্টাৰ্ণ কৰিডৰ. ঝাৰখণ্ড, ছত্তীশগড়, উৰিষ্যা আমি মাইনিং ৰিসোৰ্সেস বিলাক বহুত বেছিকে পাওঁ. বিট ম্যাঙ্গানিজ, বিট কপাৰ ওৰ, বিট বক্সাইট, এইখিনি আমি সব কোড পাওঁ ইন দিস ৰেসপেক্টিভ ইষ্টাৰ্ণ সাইড অফ ইট. So এই কাৰণে আমাৰ এই প্ৰবলেমছ খিনি আহি গৈছিলে ডিউৰিং দিস পাৰ্টিকুলাৰ পিৰিয়ড. ওকে, so আৰু কি কৈছে? Additionally, mining has violated the environment, damaging the water cycle and contaminating the air and water, which has negative impact on people's health. So mining got directly relate কৰি দিবা health sector. এটো হৈ গল কি? এটো হৈ গল social, এটো হৈ গল health. Okay, excess of sulfur and arsenic, also mention the names directly coming on from the mining areas. So sulfur or arsenic during mining operations, the land becomes poison, আৰু এই land যেতিয়া poison হৈ যায় তাতে কোনো agricultural activity ভালকে নহয়. Agricultural activity ভালকে নহয়, just because of this particular operations which has been going on with mining. Okay, okay, so that is all. 12 no PPTGs answer to কোনো নকৰিলে, only how many কৰিছে try কৰিছে? 12. No, it's not 12, it's actually 75. Okay, so India has got 75 PPTGs. Okay, particularly vulnerable tribal groups, okay, which have lost their respective language, also is on the verge of extinction. Okay, তেখেতসকলৰ মানুহ কম আহি কমকে হৈ আছে. Okay, so these are, suppose I take the example of the Shomben tribe of the Nicobar, so তেখেতসকল directly PPTGs কৰি যায়. Okay, so that is one. So ইয়াতে আহি গল Jharkhand based Munda tribal community has drawn attention to the issue of unwarranted foreign influence brought about by mining operations. This is due to the threat that unwarranted foreign influences have had to their culture by exposing them to contemporary society. Okay, so tribals are very much associated with the respective society. আৰু মই এটা কথা কলোৱে যে cultures are not given due importance, and therefore I can directly say that over here in this particular process the culture is a very essential element of whom? The tribals. Both essential হয় তেখেতসকলৰ কাৰণে culture. আৰু মই অকল নকওঁ যে tribals-ৰ কাৰণে culture টো important হয়. Okay, even for a people like us who are non-tribals, even for them also the culture plays a very important factor. Okay, it is যেনেকৈ বিহু টাইমতে, okay, দেখা নাছিলা আমি অসমীয়াবোৰ কেনেকুৱা পাগল হৈ গৈছিলো বিহু লৈ পেলাই. Okay, because of this particular things. Okay, I can hardly see কিমান কম বহুত কমজন মানুহ এনেকুৱা আছিলে who has directly not put or appreciated this, okay, in Facebook or WhatsApp or Instagram or any social media. So by কোনোবাই নহয় কোনোবাই to share কৰিছে, like কৰিছে, love emotions দিছে, so by obviously এটো কৰিছে. So that directly defines that how much we are attached to the culture. So in the same way, since these are particularly the peoples who are basically primitive ones, so তেখেতসকলৰ কাৰণেও culture টো বহুত important হৈ যায়. Okay, culture, traditions, their respective beliefs, okay, এই বস্তুখিনি তেখেতসকলৰ কাৰণে বহুত ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট হৈ যায়. আৰু এতিয়া তাতে কোৱা গৈছে that since these minings are basically done by other peoples who are particularly not themselves, okay, so ইয়াৰ কাৰণে আমি নিজৰ কালচাৰটো লছ কৰি গৈ আছো. Okay, আৰু যেতিয়া আমি এই কালচাৰটো লছ কৰি গৈ আছো আমি দেখিছো যে slowly and slowly they are directly getting influenced, even their respective own people are getting influenced by the contemporary ideas which are coming today. So obviously they have a tendency not to change themselves and respect their own culture and traditions. So So এইটো এটা আমাৰ প্ৰবলেম আহি আছে আৰু সেই প্ৰবলেমটো আমি অকমান চাব লাগিব okay so therefore even there are various number of acts which has directly come into prominence I can say about the coal mines এইকেইটা বস্তু ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট হয় লিখিব লাগিব just মুছি দিও মই okay এইকেইটা বস্তু ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট হয় আমি লিখিব লাগিব that is this one the coal mines regulation of 1955 the metalliferous mines regulation of 1961 okay mines vocational rules of 1966 and the oil mines regulation of 1984 were all created to solve this problem and to protect the identity of the tribal population of India from exploitation okay so eto amar bahut important factor hoye jay then we have to also focus on various number of illegal mining operations which are rampant in various number of our states okay because of some of the areas owned by some of the highest profile politicians or high profile peoples okay so ekhini bostu amar karone important hoye jay so etia jodi moi kom about the যেটো মই problem already কলো Maoist problem okay এটো বস্তু আমাৰ important হয় লিখিব লাগিবই তাৰপিছত যদি মই এটা আহো about this one moratoriums on fresh mining in tribal areas are the best solutions to stop mining in India's forests until proper environmental and social assessments are carried out okay so a moratorium is a legally authorized postponement before some obligations are discharged okay so এটো বস্তু এবাৰ আমি হলো ভালকে বুজাব লাগিব that what basically means moratorium এটো আমি কবই লাগিব okay because without defining what is moratorium even the examiner will never understand that to me actually moratorium word to definition বা meaning to be বুজি পাইছে না নাই so আমি এটো obviously বুজাব লাগিব but obviously it's not in the very front you should write it in the middle portion okay so এটো বস্তু আমাৰ আহিব লাগিব that how this type of obligations is very much met once you are directly describing about the scenarios with respective to fresh minings okay so ইয়াতে আমাৰ এখিনি বস্তু আহি গল okay then we can see that this obligations may include facilitating the Gram Sabha's ability to make decisions, providing full rehabilitation for those impacted, etc. And this will prevent land acquisition and displacement of tribal communities as well as to provide basic needs like schools, hospitals, roads, and goodwill living conditions. So, ekhini amar karone bahut important factor hoi jay once you are directly associating yourself your respective essay khonot jitu khudise he bostu khini ami independently আমি তাতে ভালকে খুমাই পেলাই প্ৰেজেন্ট কৰিব পাৰিব লাগিব okay then also you can directly take about a case study okay case study of a fresh mining jot mining হোৱাৰ কাৰণে many number of peoples has been displaced many number of the products or be it the agricultural products be it something associated with all these particular industries has directly got impacted সেই বস্তুখিনি আমি ইয়াতে আমি explain কৰিব লাগিব so hekarne that even you can go ahead with a particular case study that is also very important তাৰপিছত ইয়াতে যদি মই ক'ব আহো so ইয়াত mainly ক'বলে ইয়াতে আমি এখন governance-ৰ কথা কৈ আছো so governance কি কথা কৈ আছো ইয়াত so see when you are directly saying about the governance or the government okay so government should directly make or imbibe here what more governance and less government এই বস্তুবিলাক সময় দিবা these are the terms which are very necessary once you are discussing about the types of system that what we needs to acquire in this particular platform so ami eta ki lage amak lage more governance and less government so that governmental intervention kom thake but obviously governmentsor jekini support ekini sobotke beshi pai that is one of the important criteria once you are associating yourself with this particular number of governance so yate etu kotha koise that this should be seriously accomplished by bringing fruits of mining and development to the tribes so yate koa goise that instead of directly making everyone outsider in this particular arena include the tribals in that particular sector so that they feel much more emancipated and they feel much more economically included jimane emancipation beshi hobo aru economical development hobo then they will directly focus much more towards what they will focus much more towards the rapid development of their respective place about their respective scenario and even they would think about the development of the country in the coming times so hekhini kotha ke yaat koa goise okay because I can say that for instance it's a firm is permitted to mine on tribal grounds the tribes would be 25 to 50% of the mine so yate tribals of include koribo dia goise kot in this respective mining sector because once they are getting included I can directly say that they will focus much more towards the development of their respective area their respective state and ultimately towards the respective country तो তো এই বস্তুখিনি আমাৰ ইয়াতে ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট ফেক্টৰ্ছ হৈ যায় তো ইয়াতে এটা ৰিসেন্ট এমেন্ডমেন্ট আহিছিলে মাইন্স এণ্ড মিনাৰেলছ ডেভেলপমেন্ট এণ্ড ৰেগুলেশ্যন বিল 2011 which seeks a holistic reforms in the mining sector. Okay, so ইয়াতে কোৱা গৈছিলে about the schemes like Van Bandhu. Okay, and even you can say about that over here it has been discussed that how I can directly restrict the fresh mining. It's obviously not the minings like coal and some of the important minerals like uranium or bauxite, but যেখিনি mines or যেখিনি আমাৰ areas where I can directly say that slowly and slowly we need a proper development of this particular process. এই বস্তুখিনি আমি চাব লাগিব যে how I can directly integrate much more towards this particular sector so that they can directly come over and could help themselves out in this coming time. So এই বস্তুখিনি আমাৰ ইয়াতে আহি যায় about the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Bill 2011 which is recently amended in 2021 আৰু এই বস্তুটো আমি এটা নোট ডাউন কৰিব লাগিব যে what are the respective amendments that has been discussed under this particular amendment process. তো এইখিনি আমি ইয়াতে অলপ চলপ ডিসকাস কৰি পেলাই we have to make this essay more crucial. Okay, so ইয়াতে lastly I can directly say that over here this type of indigenous community who are directly focused towards much more towards this particular sector, okay, towards this particular sector, these people, so they needs to be properly developed and they needs to be properly integrated towards the mainstream society so that they could feel much more developed, they could feel much more integrated, and therefore slowly and slowly they could directly feel themselves to be more inclusive in this society, having every form of rights. So governmental mechanisms কিছুমান লৈ প্ৰথমতে start কৰা লগে লগে we have to go ahead with a case study, then we can say about the challenges associated with this fresh mining problems, and then we can actually say about the same types of government phenomena. You have to mandatorily go ahead with the Mines and Minerals Development Bill 2011 which has recently been amended in 2021 to go ahead that what governments are directly taking up as a step to emancipate more and more number of tribals in the major economical advancements that we want to see today in our own country so that they could even contribute towards the goodness as well as the rapid development of the country. So এইখিনি কথাকে আমি ডিসকাস কৰিব লাগিব which is a very mandate that you needs to follow in this particular criteria. Okay, so এইখিনিয়ে আজি আমাৰ দুটাৰ essay ওচৰত আছিলে. So if particularly if you wants to contact us, okay, via our particular scan code and with our particular site csap.co.in, এই বস্তু দুটা তোমালোকে আমাক through contact কৰিব পাৰা. We are open to any forms of test series. Okay, our also the live classes will resume, okay, which will focus much more towards various number of topics. আমি static topics লৈ আহি আছো, okay, static marathon topics লৈ আহি আছো, okay, which will be soon, maybe tomorrow. Okay, from tomorrow the marathon classes will also start. Okay, so ami marathon classes lo yeso, we will also come with current affairs during the evening, and we will also go with various GS test discussions. Okay, jodi ratipua hoy ase the test to, obviously by the evening you will get the test discussions, then obviously we will go ahead with even an essay paper discussion just like today. Okay, essay paper discussion ami korim. Okay, so if you wants to go ahead with this particular program, also we are launching our offline batches. Okay, offline batches আমি আৰম্ভ কৰিব গৈ আছো. Okay, this offline batches will be soon, that will be starting by the end of April. Okay, we have not fixed a particular date, but it will be more probably by 28th to 1st May we will be directly planning. So এইখিনি বস্তু আমি প্ল্যান কৰি গৈ আছো, will be directly launching a particular mains oriented batch which will only focus on the people who have cleared the prelims. Okay, also we have got a foundation batch of us, also we have got a live online classes. So if you wants to go ahead with every form of this particular phenomenon that what we have today as an organization, you could directly visit this particular site, register here, you can scan the code, and also for more information you can call the number 9127515541. Okay, so that is all from Jaipur Risk Kalita, signing off, saying you sayonara with a motto to meet you again in the coming time with some of the new and dynamic topics. So that's all from today from my side. Sayonara from CSAP and from Jaipur Risk Kalita. Goodbye.